What's going on, family? My name is Chris. For all those that don't know, I'm the director and visionary writer, whatever, idea, if that's a word, of this documentary. And I just wanted to give it a quick introduction beforehand. I sat down with these women a year ago, so it's like to actually go over the footage and put some things together and still follow these women in their journey. They're definitely an inspiration to me. You know, data from IKONZ magazine, constantly building. You have Ryan from Brooklyn Boyhood, who just her transition from when I sat down with her to now with her projects and everything else, you know, and then Nina, who is the biggest inspiration of all to me. So, I really didn't expect these women to open up and, really answer my questions, the way they did. And I just want to say that I really appreciate it. And this is basically for them. So, I hope you guys enjoy it and maybe learn something, have some laughs, but this is definitely an introduction to CIR. Peace. Be blessed. CIR, a masculine dominant lesbian, a female who is true to herself while carrying a masculine dominant demeanor, to carry oneself with respect, pride, and dignity. CIR Nation.
So my name is Ryan Holmes, and I'm the co-founder of Brooklyn Boyhood, and we're a collective that works to provide empowerment and visibility for masculine of center, queer and trans people of color. So we try to say that includes whoever feels like they fit on that spectrum. So people that identify as trans, AGs, DOMs, across the board, across the world, we try to represent and hold space for that to happen. And we started the project a few years ago, and we launched it with our calendar project, which features boys of color mainly from New York City, but from other parts of the country as well. And just tries to bring visibility and a light that includes like fashion and just positivity and a spectrum across gender, sexuality, and other things that we...
My name is RYANN. Most people call me Data. Where I'm from, it's kind of hard to pinpoint one place where I'm from. I was born in Panama, and military kid, so I've been all over. If I have to name one place, I would say the Bronx, probably most time. That's where I spend most of my time. IKONZ magazine. IKONZ magazine was it was an idea that came to me back, I believe, like in 2004, and I wanted to see. Matter of fact, I'll tell you where I got the idea from. I got the idea from Vibe. I don't know if y'all remember, some time ago, Vibe did a feature on aggressive females where they follow some females and try to got their life or whatever. And I wanted to see more of that. So I kind of just waited around and see if anyone was going to do that, was going to bring a lesbian magazine to the forefront. So I didn't really see it, so I started my research. Found out that there's really not too many urban lesbian magazines out there. It's definitely that we could relate to. So about in 2008, I decided to start it off with a website. It was ikonzonline.com. And what the website did, it was a networking. It was a networking site, so it was something similar to like a MySpace. And it gave, lesbians an opportunity to come and interact with other lesbians and meet like-minded individuals, that was into business and entrepreneurship. They could kind of vibe with. And from there, we decided to kind of branch off and do a premiere issue, which was the premiere issue we had with Kim for Life on the cover. Our mission in IKONZ magazine is to basically to create and celebrate, I guess, the positive portrayal of urban lesbians in media, society, and entertainment.
Okay, my name is Nina. Back in the days, they called me Ace. I changed life a little bit, so, Nina's fine with me. I'm 39. I was born in Brooklyn. I was raised in Brooklyn. I moved off to Queens, Far Rockaway, and Redfern Projects. I was raised out there from like, I think like 7 years old until I just moved out on my own. Right now I'm in New Rochelle. It's a change of pace. You know, I'm doing things a little differently. So, you know.
I'm from Washington, D.C. I was born nearby in PG County. I've been in New York for so many years that I can't even think about it right now. But I think I moved here in like 2005. And this is where my whole adult life has been, and this is where I've sort of grown into myself. So this is where I call home now. So for, I guess, part of my childhood, it was a dual parent household, I guess. And then in my early teens, my dad moved and went to Baltimore. My parents split up. So it was my mom and the 5 of us. So I came from like a really big family, all girls, 1 boy, maybe 2 boys. I'm the second to youngest. I got a little brother. So it was my mother's a really incredible, really divine woman, and she raised us all with great care and attention. So my household was healthy. We were a black family, so we dealt with problems and the same shit that I guess everybody goes through. But you know, we're all close and we're all here. So.
I guess you could say it was kind of normal in the beginning. I had my father and my mother there, my 2 sisters. It didn't stay that way very long. My mother was a victim of domestic violence for the better part of her life, I guess you could say. So once she decided she was fed up, we was in a lot of shelters, battered women's shelters, constantly running from my father. He'll find us at certain shelters, and then we'll have to leave in the middle of the night and go to another one just for us to be safe. And that was my life for a pretty long time. So I didn't really have an opportunity to connect with a lot of people, meet a lot of friends. You know, anybody that came in my life, chances are in a few months, you know, we were going to kind of depart. So I really don't have many friends, honestly, and that's because of that reason. But finally, you know, my mom decided she wanted a better life. We moved to Atlanta back in '89, and it was a better life. It was good. It was a good, you know, it was a higher quality of living. I believe if we didn't move to Atlanta, I think my sisters and I probably would have been a statistic. I see myself probably was selling drugs because that's the way I was headed, and my sister's probably pregnant. I mean, just another statistic going on. We was from the projects, Edenwood projects in the Bronx. So if it wasn't for her moving to Atlanta, that's probably would have been our story right there. But, you know, just like, you know, everything else, she became a victim of more domestic violence, and from one abusive guy to the next abusive guy, all the way to where it claimed her life. So, and from there, it's just been kind of chaotic, honestly. So.
My family, my mom was Pentecostal, so it was very strict in my household. It wasn't always like that. I mean, I was raised around, when I was younger, she wasn't always Pentecostal. And the change came, and it like changed the whole household. You know, there was no drinking, no cursing, no this, no that, church from Sunday to Sunday, you know, from morning, noon to night, and it was pretty strict.
If you let my mother tell it, I guess as soon as I could pick my clothes or point to them, you know what I mean? It's funny, I have photos of like myself just studied out, like, you know, I was probably like 9, 10 years old. I was always like really active and athletic, and I grew up with all girls in my home, but on my block it was nothing but the little boys, so I was ripping and running with them all the time. And I always sort of had that that edge about me or whatever, and sort of that rebellion to like not really fit the mold. Like I would fight with my mother for a while about wearing the Easter dress. I had to wear that shit, but I definitely, you know, put my dukes up about it because I knew that there was something that wasn't representing me even as a child. So I say like probably like 7, 8 years.
Very early on, honestly. I didn't really fit in with the girls. Or maybe that's just my insecurities, maybe, honestly. Always hung with the guys. You know, I have a large family, so all the cousins would get together, and my sisters, all the females, I guess, they would be in one area, and then me and the boys would go play cops and robbers, climb trees, climb rocks, do guy things, and that's kind of been the norm in elementary school, high school, junior high school. I just hung with the guys. So I knew at an early age that I wasn't like the rest of the females that were my peers. It just wasn't, we didn't get along, we didn't talk about the same things, you know. So I remember having a crush on my math teacher, Miss Reed, like in 5th grade. That's when I knew, all right, this is not normal at all. But never told anybody. I just kind of dealt with it. And then after that, I started fantasizing about other girls. And that's when I kind of knew and kind of accepted that I'm really not into this boy thing at all.
I was about 16. I say 16, or maybe even a little older than that. And I say that because I wasn't one that automatically knew. I fought with it for a long time. I was always kind of like attracted to girls or whatever, but because of what my family stood for, because of what my mother stood for, oh man, I just couldn't live that lifestyle at that time, you know. So I'm gonna say I was about 15 or 16 years old when I really realized that I was attracted to females.
You know, I had bumps along the way, but I like to think that I was pretty blessed as far as like people having acceptance about my sexuality and gender presentation coming up. My family has been pretty supportive, though it's been like a learning curve for all of us. I've not been like shunned out of anything or, you know, shut out even emotionally, really. So I'm really, really blessed when it comes to that. You know, just going to school, like high school, I was a track and field athlete, and I had a couple of coaches that found out. I was kind of outed in high school. I didn't really come out. It wasn't a choice for me. And you know, it was I was a really great athlete, and for whatever reason, when I was getting when I was kind of being stressed about my identity and coming out and all of that stuff, it was affecting my performance, it was affecting a lot of things. So my coaches were coming at me like it was actually this thing about myself that was causing all these things, and that was what was like, you know, making me sort of not able to perform to my ability, you know what I mean? So I had like a lot of challenges with that, just sort of kind of being who I was, and that not being something that I needed to work on. But I wasn't like shut out in any way. So it was like a few teammates of mine on the track team or whatever. So I was, you know, I was running fast. I was pretty popular among, you know, the track world or whatever, and because of that, I sort of wanted to keep my life like dating women and all that stuff, because I started to explore that when I was like 14 on the low. So I would date girls that went to the all-girls school in the city, and I wouldn't even like mess with, you know, girls that were in my own high school or whatever. And someone from that high school was connected to someone at my high school, so one of my teammates made a comment about like a hickey or something at a track meet, and in front of my entire team, that it probably wasn't from a guy. And as soon as that happened, everybody started laughing, including my coach. And I was told to leave for whatever reason. So it was all fucked up. It's funny though, because all those people be jocking me now, but because you know, when you're younger, you don't really understand that shit. And I just feel like it was high school, and people didn't really respect boundaries or whatever. So I had to deal with a lot of shit.
I've had acceptance from my family growing up. I've never been singled out. I really can't pinpoint or tell you one person that didn't accept me for who I was, or if they did, they really didn't voice their opinion. When I finally came out, my mother was long gone. My mother, I guess like a year to 2 years before my mother's death, she practiced Islam. So she became a Muslim. And I remember one of my friends was gay. And I remember telling my mom, like, yo, you know, such and such is gay. She's going to burn in hell. All this stuff. I'm like, damn. Alright, so I ain't going to tell you what's going on with me. Alright, God. The last thing I would ever want to do is disappoint my mother. You know, I looked up to her. And so that's one thing, honestly, that I regret not telling her about myself. I don't think that my mother would have shunned me. I think she would have loved me. I was her baby. I was the youngest. So when I did come out, I didn't have any problems. I mean, my sister actually, she was like, oh, thank God. You know, finally, we knew. I'm like, how did you know? Why y'all didn't tell me? How we gonna tell you gay? But we knew, you know? So my sister was the one who helped me tell the rest of the family. So she just was like, you know, hold on, I'm call this person on three-way, I'll speak for you. And it was cool. My grandmother, who's very religious, she didn't care. She just basically said, just always carry yourself like a lady. Cool, I could do that. My father, I think he was the happiest. He's like, why is they telling me you get girls together? Yeah, I guess we can. We can do that. Yeah, he was the happiest, man. He really, really was. He always wanted a boy. And that's what I always said to him. I said, look what y'all did. He wished and wished for a boy. I'm like, look, this is what you got. Thanks, guys.
Acceptance, no. You know, my mother was totally against it. She was Pentecostal. You know, so she didn't accept that. When I pressed for acceptance and respect and demanded respect from anybody and everybody, including my mother, I was about 19. I got into a relationship. I was not always a sir. When I first came out, I was feminine. So my first lover was a sir. And my mother did not, oh man, it was crazy. But I demanded respect, and it's like no matter how much she pushed it away, I kept bringing that person around because I just wanted her to see, like, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to do it. And, you know, you can't just say that you don't like it because that's what the pastor say, or, you know, that's what you preach in the church. You know, I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, and it was way, way, way later on in life that she accepted it and just said, you know, it is what it is. I think she started accepting it more because my sister's a sir. So, you know, we're both out there, you know, and I guess that she just said, you know, I can't do anything about this. You know, it is what it is. And she just accepted it, and we went forward. We moved on.
The biggest obstacle, and we was talking about this, is accepting. Okay, I've accepted myself for myself. It's accepting myself and who I am in the presence of people that don't like me maybe, or don't understand my lifestyle, who haven't really interacted with a person like myself. And that's my greatest challenge right now, is getting myself prepared for success. It's because it's scary, you know. You don't know how to handle it. You know, I walk into a room and I went to this event, and I remember they announced who I was, pointing me out. Damn it, pointing me out. Everybody look at me, and then everybody's like, "Oh." Everyone rush me. I don't know how to deal with that. Give me some space. You understand what I'm saying? It was, I want to be accepted, but now, okay, they accept me. I really don't know how to deal with that shit. You know, sorry. So that's one of my greatest challenges. Another great challenge that we have is, again, like I said, is introducing who we are to the world. They know we exist, but this is the first time that someone's actually stepping to them and saying, look, here's the deal. You freaking sell sanitary napkins. We need them. I need you to put an ad in IKONZ magazine. You understand what I'm saying? It's introducing us to people that kind of shunned away from us. You know, they want us. They want our dollars. You know, they want to advertise to us, but they're kind of iffy. You know, they don't. And I think they're iffy because it's just not out there. You know, if there was a black Ellen, let's just say, I think they would embrace IKONZ magazine. No qualms about it. They don't even have to think about it, you know. But it's really not one. So, you know, I have to. It's just like, it's like training a dog or something. I mean, and it's constant. I mean, it's one presentation after the next with the same company sometimes, just so they can understand the market and understand who we are, you know. So, some of my great challenges.
For me, it took a really long time to sort of feel affirmed and feel confident that who I was enough, who I was not weird, who I was actually beautiful and not just like not a bad thing or whatever. So I'm still actually on that journey, and that's why I did, you know, Brooklyn Boyhood. That's why I'm part of that collective, and because it does help to affirm me in my own body or whatever. But we get messages from everywhere of what normal is supposed to look like, and if you aren't that or you don't conform to that, you're not treated the same, and you're not. You may not even directly be taught to hate yourself, but you're not told to love yourself, and that is poisonous, because throughout history and for years to come, queer people, gender neutral, black people, brown people are so important to the pulse of this earth, you know what I mean? And we're not fed that same history, even as a base. So from there, and then getting messages from all over, like the media, and not getting any representation of seeing yourself, but knowing that this is who you are is really challenging. So I say, like, up until the last 3-4 years of my life, I feel like I never really felt quite, you know, affirmed or like just okay. And that could even be within the community, right? Because you also may feel like you have to be on one end of a spectrum in that sense also. So, you know, once I felt that I had space as a queer person, then I had to find my fit within that too. So it's just sort of a constant, it's a lot of work to stay affirmed and to you know, apply self-love and stuff like that, so.
Tough. I'm still battling myself, honestly. I think that's going to continue for a little while. As I grow and as I move forward with my business, I have to understand that I am like everybody else, because I frequent at a lot of straight events, and I wonder how they perceive me. I am the only gay person, well, the only gay female, because the guys, they're there, but I am the only gay female. I'm the only female that look like me, you know, that look like this when I walk in the room, and all eyes are on me, you know. And I struggle with that. You know, I have to give myself a pep talk before I go into an event, you know, to kind of find the courage to go in there and network and push my product to these people. It's a constant struggle. That's probably the greatest challenge that I have right now. And still trying to find that acceptance when I'm around, I guess, feminine women. I'm around them a lot of models. And I want to fit in. You understand? I think we all want to fit in at some point. We want to be accepted. So my biggest challenge is just breaking down those barriers to introduce myself and let them know. I mean, once I do that, it's pretty much, it's a great night, you know. But it takes a while for me to kind of warm up to the environment. That's my biggest challenge. Other than, you know, I never had a problem accepting who I am. It's just accepting what other people see or how they will perceive me, what they're thinking. So I mean, honestly, I'm at a point in my life I don't care what other people think, but it's still just a challenge, you know. And I'm a business person, so I kind of have to put that to the forefront before when I walk into the room. Like, you know, put your chest out, you know, you're here for business, you know. So I deal with that every day, dogs.
If you don't hold your space and you don't stay true to who you are, it ain't but so far you're gonna be able to go. So my constant struggle is to not dress it up, to be my complete self, and hope that I can still, you know, move forward in my career and not just like in my community where people know or feel like the work that you're doing is valid, but just constantly having to prove myself. So like rooms full of white men or white women who might look at me and first think that I look like a 17-year-old black boy. And whatever you think about that 17-year-old black boy, you have to fight off. And I have to struggle with to like alter perception. So it's a constant, like, you know, like the further you want to go up, the harder you got to charge up that mountain or whatever. So
because, okay, you asked me this question, and this is how I'm going to answer it for me. I went through a lot of battles because in this lifestyle, you have to first be comfortable with you in order to accept yourself. You know, I'm still not comfortable within me. And it's not with my sexuality. I'm very comfortable with my sexuality. It's the weight, you know, things like that I'm fighting with myself with. But as far as my sexuality, I'm comfortable with it. But you have to be comfortable. Like, I have to be comfortable with me first, within inside of me. You know, that's what this lifestyle is really all about to me, being comfortable with me. You know, it doesn't matter what anybody feel or how anybody looks at me, as long as I'm comfortable when I close my eyes in the nighttime, when I go to bed. If I'm comfortable with me and I can look in the mirror, you know, that's the battle. Looking in the mirror, accepting yourself, accepting who you are, being able to look in the mirror on a daily basis, being able to pick out things within you that you like about you. You know, you understand what I'm saying to you? So that's how I'm going to answer that question.
yeah, throughout my entire like teenage to adulthood, is sort of, I've had like battles with, you know, my faith and spirituality and stuff like that. I was sort of, when my father was around, I was sort of like, I was raised in a church at that time, and just had in my mind that kind of always knew, like as soon as I hit puberty, I knew what was up. And just sort of internalized this kind of like hatred for myself and that part of myself, because I thought that that was it. Like, that means God hates me, and now I'm off the ticket. So, you know, if I'm going to live my life this way, it's me making a choice that's against what I've been taught. But then just sort of like going off to college and like reading and like talking to people and understanding that there is so much more behind like religion and practice, and it got easier for me over time, but it's still something that I'm like trying to sort out, because I know that who I am is who I'm supposed to be, and I know that I'm as good of a person as I can be on this earth, so I feel good with that. But I'm still, you know, battling sort of historically, like, what church means to me as a black, you know, person. And, you know, understanding that there's a lot of value in religion, but sort of like making it something that I can sort of put in practice that makes me a better person, instead of just being a constant, like, you know, thing that I have to go up against. So, as you can see, I'm still working through it.
It's fun.
I think in overall in society, fuck no. I don't think sirs are respected, because if that were the case, we'd be given space. You know what I'm saying? And just like on a day-to-day, feeling invisible, meaning like people can look at me and actually have no idea how to pick it apart, or how to pick, you know, what they're seeing apart or whatever. Just it literally makes you feel invisible, because and that means that there's not value. You know what I mean? Like I just finished a MBA program, and sort of like am re-entering the work world, and the look on people's faces when I start talking about my experience of what I do, like the fact that people are shocked, number one, that I can articulate myself. Number two, the life that I live and continue to live, and then sort of like the air of confidence that I make sure that I hold in spaces where I'm the only one. And it's just like we have to keep pushing our exposure, so that people know that there's like a lot of stuff. And a lot of the shit that's getting unwrapped isn't just because of my gender presentation, is that overlap with what people think about black and brown people, or if you look at my outfit, what class you think I'm in. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of stuff that's intersecting with each other that we have to deal with and break down for people, whether or not that's in a job interview or in a public restroom. You know?
I think we have a long way to go. Let's just say that. You know, lesbian women are starting to become more acceptable, but that's because it's like femme on femme. Mm-hmm. They can't really grasp us aggressive people. They don't know what to do with us. They don't know why we are here. You know, they don't know why a feminine woman would get with an aggressive woman. You know, if you want to be with a man type. You know, we've all heard that before. I don't think we're respected because I don't think we respect ourselves. I think some of us don't really respect ourselves. I don't like to see, like I seen a girl the other day. I mean, her pants pretty much was on her ankles. I mean, like, seriously. I wonder why she even put them on for the day. You know, I hate that. It doesn't make us look good. I can understand a little slouch because, you know, who wants them all the way up on your waist type? I understand that. But to the point where it's literally on your knees and you have to wear gym shorts under, you know, I don't get that. I hate it. And it just makes us, it makes us look worse. So no, we're not respected. We're fighting with one another. We're fighting with guys. When we see another female that don't want to talk to us, we got the nerve and audacity to call her a bitch. Like, we are picking up the wrong, we're picking up the wrong signals. Like, our wires are crossed. You know, a woman who doesn't know how to treat a woman is sad. You know, we want to cheat on our girls. We want to hit our girls. We want to argue in public. We want to fight in public. That does not that's not going to get acceptance from anybody. You know, let alone another community. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't work like that. And you know, I have a problem because when I'm going before sponsors or these huge corporations, like I literally have to break down, I have to introduce them to my community. They just don't get it at all. And it's hard because I'm pissed at my freaking own community. You understand? I gotta go and ask people for help for my community, but I'm pissed. You know, we're not doing what we should do. Even as women, you know, we're not as, they're not taking care of themselves. You know, I've met some aggressive women that don't feel they need to go to the doctor. Where you get that from? You a female. Nothing up in me. It's a pap smear. Get over yourself. You need it. I'm sad. I don't even want to know what's going on down there because you don't care about your own. You know, it's bad. You know. So no, we're not respected, and it's gonna take someone like yourself, you know, and your business associate, someone like myself, to get that respect, to demand it. You know. And once we do, I think we can then, it will kind of just, I become like a domino effect. But we have to learn how to carry ourselves in public. That's first and foremost. I'm not saying, you know, you have to be the most proper person. But you'll carry yourself with some dignity and some pride. That's first.
You covered it a bit, but I just wanted to see maybe if you had more. What message would you send to society to help them educate, you know, with a better understanding of us sirs, so that it's not a constant judge when they see us? What would you say? If you were on a panel for sirs, you know? I would honestly tell them to be patient. Be patient with us. We're just like your kids. You know, we need a little bit more guidance. There's no figure out there in the world, in media, entertainment, that we could say, okay, this is who I want to be like. If you get me, that I can relate to this person. You know, so everyone is picking up different things from different places and they're thinking it's right. And you're not going to, you know, as a teenager, even in your 20s, you're really not going to get it right until you start to mature a little bit more. And it's like, the heck was I doing? You know, so what I actually be patient. You know, if you see us kind of going in the wrong path, can you say something? Can you guide us in the right path? You know, and I do that often. I'm on a train and I'm, you know, these young kids and they're cursing and they're acting up. And I'm like the only, you know, everyone's face is just disgusted. And I'm like, I'm really disgusted to the point I need to say something. You know, if your mother was here, would you really conduct yourself like this? You know, and I have to say the same thing with the ages. I had to pull some over to the side because it was like the way you're carrying on right now, you're making it bad for me. And I've worked too hard for you to take away what I've built or what we're trying to, yeah, pretty much what we've built so far. And I just want them to know that because we have a lack of, I guess, the proper guidance, we're kind of picking up things on our own, that it's going to take us a little bit more, a little longer to get it right. So I just urge them to be patient and be open-minded. You know, the males, they're good. They have some figures out there that they can relate to in media and society. You know, we don't have that. So I'm going to need you guys just to work with us a little bit more.
I'm 39, like I said, and I used and abused crack cocaine for 17 and a half years. I battle with my faith every day because I used to always say, you know, God, you know, why me? You know, like, I want to change, I want to come out of this. And at one time, I didn't believe God. Like, I didn't believe in God because I said, you know, God, you know, if this is really you, why am I out here like this? You know what I'm saying? Then How did I change that? How did I overcome that? Because it all fell on me. It was what I wanted to do. And I couldn't blame God or anybody else. The only person I could have blamed was me. And it took me to say, you know what? I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to do this no more. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of being homeless. I'm sick of being in the street. I'm sick of running. I'm sick of people not respecting me. I want to respect me. You know, and it took me a long time to get it together. You know, I battled my addiction for 17 years. You know, but here I am today, 5 years, and I haven't touched that. I haven't touched crack cocaine, heroin in 5 years. I still get my drink on, but it's just something that I just don't want to do. So yeah, I battled a long time, but there is a God, you know, and that's how I see it. There is a God, because if it wasn't, I would not be here. He took me through what he took me through so I can be able to tell other people my story, so they can be able to see that it can be done. You know, so I'm sitting here in front of you telling you my story because it can be done. You know, people crossed me in the street. I laid and slept in abandoned buildings, and people stepped over me going up the stairs in the building. Today, I have my own apartment. Today, I am a supervisor on my job. Today, you know, I can slide a debit card through a machine, you know, just for today.
Just for today.
Just for today.
What keeps me going in life, what keeps me going in my work, is just community, for real. I'm so affirmed by community. I feel, and that's everybody. That's family, that's friends, that's you, that's everybody that's just been surrounding me or our collective or anything, because I constantly feel affirmed in my body and who I am, and in my gifts, and I feel like I have space to use those abilities. So that keeps me motivated. I have a younger brother. I have nieces and nephews and just folks that I feel like I want to inspire, and just, you know, try to just offer inspiration to people to keep manifesting whatever they want to manifest and changing the world, because that's where it really starts with us. So those are the things that really keep me going, and then just like I'm really blessed to sort of be able to get messages from groups and countries that I've never been to that are just affirmed by the community and the space that we've all created here. So just knowing that I'm so blessed, I feel like I have a responsibility, and I think that's a big part of what keeps me going. So
inspiration, I grab inspiration from a lot of things. My mother was a very strong woman. She always taught us entrepreneurship growing up. And I thank her for that. Probably where I get most of my courage from. I'm inspired by Jay-Z. And he has a wonderful story that I could relate to. What keeps me going is the reality of what will happen if I stop. What will life be like if I stop? And I know that life is getting up at 7 in the morning, getting up at 5 in the morning, be out the house by 6 in the morning, be to work by 7 in the morning, lunch at 11, home by 4:30. That's life. It's not life. I can't do that. I can't do that for the next 30 years and then retire and then do what? I refuse to live like that, honestly. I don't want to retire from anything other than my business. So that keeps me going. My community keeps me going. As much as it's like a love-hate relationship, because we don't support things that we really need to support. but they do keep me going because they need help. We need help. So I would like to see us on the same platform as everybody else, you know. So I want to see IKONZ magazine next to Essence and Ebony and Jet and things like that. So my community keeps me going. My sister keeps me going. My nephews keep me going. I don't want my nephews to work for anybody, honestly. My niece keeps me going. I don't want her to work for anybody either.
Right now, my barriers is my education. Again, it falls on me being 39, running the streets all my life, 17 and a half years. Never really worried about a high school diploma because I didn't think that I would be successful enough for anybody to want me to participate in their organization or in their job or in their corporation. So I didn't never think that I needed one. Well, I need one, you know, and I found that out in my life. And I'm going and I'm doing it. And those are one of my barriers that I'm breaking down right now. I'm in school, I'm doing my thing. You know, it's been a lot of years, so everything is looking like scribble scrabble to me right now. But I'm not gonna quit, you know, because I'm not a quitter. You know, I'm gonna keep going and doing what I gotta do, you know, to be a better parent. I was never a parent. I was always a mother, because anytime a woman has a child, she's a mother. But not every mother is a parent. And I want to become a better parent, not my son's friend, because my son is 22 years old. You know, and I just want to be his parent and not his homegirl or his homeboy, like he said. Ma, you know you're my homeboy. And I want to be his parent, you know, and a better grandma, because I have a granddaughter, you know, and she's coming up, and I don't want to give her any type of crazy thoughts. You know, I want to break barriers with being a better person to myself, so I can become a better person to whoever takes part in my life. You know, so those are the barriers. I want to break this barrier with this weight. You know, it's very difficult for me. I've never been this heavy in my life. I've always been 120 pounds. So to be 200 pounds right now is a big barrier for me. You know, and these are the things. I'm trying to break barriers that's going to better me. It's going to make me a better person. You know, I can't be excellent and perfect because I'm not God, but I can be the best at whatever I do. You know, and that's just basically all the barriers that I'm trying to break right now.
Being an AG is much more than what people see on the outside. You know, it really, really is. It's more than just a way of life. It's just basically, I guess, what defines us. You know, the way we wear our clothes. You know, you can tell the difference in different aggressive, you know, just by the way they dress, the way they carry themselves. You know, I think we're very loving. You know, we're emotional as hell. Like I said, sensitive. And that kind of all plays a role in why we act out the way we do. But you learn to control those emotions as you get older, you know, and I don't think everyone really has a grasp on that as of yet. It's kind of hard to kind of control your emotions at times. But, you know, an AG woman is a very strong woman. She is, because if you can get up every morning and walk out the house with your you know, your baggy clothes, your Timberlands, your hat to the side, you know, that takes a very strong woman to do that. Because everywhere you're putting it on Front Street. Honestly, this is who I am, and I'm proud of it. You know, and I'm on Front Street, and I'm sure you guys on Front Street every single day. This is something that we can't hide. You cannot put me in a dress and put me out there. You will probably still know I'm an AG. There's no switching me. I will still walk with a bob, and I will look uncomfortable as hell. You know, so there's no change in this. This is who I am, and I think that's, if I have to say what else is an aggressive female, she's the strongest. She's probably one of the strongest ones there. One of the strongest species God has ever created.
Advice to young sirs would be just to you know, constantly reflect and know who you are, and don't be afraid to be that person, because you will be happier that way regardless. It might feel hard at the beginning. You might get a lot of shit for it. You might lose people that you love, but you're the only person that you have. And this is the only life that we have, so you have to, well, maybe not, but you gotta sort of just be yourself. And then the other thing that I would tell young studs out here is that we have to be so accountable to femmes and people that are on that spectrum as well, because I think we get caught up in what masculinity means and get caught up in like all this misogynistic bullshit, and don't realize that we're cannibalizing ourselves by sort of not holding space for femmes and people that are on that spectrum, and because of the privilege that we have. So I feel like I just have to add that, because a lot of shit that I see in here and really appalled by, to be honest, because we got a lot of work to do. So
I need y'all to call me. I need y'all to call me, and we need to have a conversation. I need you guys to, I need y'all to be women first. I mean, because overall you are a woman first. And with that takes a certain type of, I guess you carry yourself with a certain type of demeanor, a certain type of pride that you won't get anywhere else. We need to stop with the BS, really. Whatever insecurities you have, you know, if you don't know how to tackle them, like I said, you need to call me. Reach out to me, IKONZ magazine. Look it up. It's info for you to contact myself. My personal information is there. We need to learn how to respect each other, but first I guess we need to learn how to respect ourselves. So if anything, I would say learn to respect yourself, because then everything else will fall into place, I'm sure. Get your education. It's very important. It's very important. And if you are fortunate enough to have a partner, have a female in your life that love you, the only thing I really ask is to reciprocate that back. Love it. Love her. I mean, we're losing our women, our young girls, because of, see, we take on these heterosexual values in our relationship, which really sucks. But men are losing their women, we're losing our women. It just doesn't equal, it just don't equal out, you know? I need you to find that love for yourself first, and then, you know, love the one you're with. Love the one you're with. That's it. Self-respect, self-dignity, you know, dignity, take some self-pride. You know, carry yourself like, if you're going to be an AG, you want to dress like a man, you want to be a man, fine, that's good, I love it. But carry yourself correctly, please. That's it.
I'm going to say to all the young sirs out there, my #1 rule is don't wife her just because the sex feel good. You know, any woman can make you feel good. Any woman can make your toes curl. You can have an orgasm with any woman. You wife her when she's your best friend. You wife her when she can accept you, you know, for whoever you are and whatever you come with. It goes back with a serenity prayer for me. You know, God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. When a person can accept you for all of the things that you cannot change, and they can accept you because you got the courage to change them, and then they can accept you even more because you got the wisdom to know the difference, that's a wife. You know, that's a wife when you come home and everything is done and taken care of, and you don't have to really worry about too much, and you communicate with her. You can tell her, oh, go to hell today, or I had a bad day, or damn, you know, I just don't feel like talking. And she said, you know what, babe, I'll catch you tomorrow, or I'll catch you in an hour. That's a wife. You know, a wife is when you say, you know, I had surgery on my foot, and I couldn't get in the shower. And I'm going to just share this story real quick with you. I couldn't get in the shower because I had this cast on my foot. And a wife is somebody that can get the washcloth and put a plastic bag over your foot and put you in the shower and wash all your areas. That's a wife. You know, that's a wife. So my message to all the young sirs is, please, don't wife her because the sex is good. You know who you are before you go out there, because baggy jeans and a fitted don't make you a sir. You know what I'm saying? A sir is when you're comfortable with being a sir. A sir is when you don't feel, how do I say, what's that word? You don't feel funny if somebody walk down the street or they tap you on a train or they say, oh, have a good evening, sir. And you don't feel offended by it, you assertive. When you can lift your head and say, you too, sir, and keep it moving, or you too, ma'am, and keep it moving. So, like, that's my message to young people. Get that education. It's very important. Don't be me. Don't be 39 looking for it, because it's harder. You know, get that education. Get things that you can call your own. You know what I'm saying? Before you do all of this, being a sir and all of that, make sure that you're comfortable with you. Because if you're not comfortable with you, then I'm sorry to say you're not no sir. You're not a sir. A sir is a dominant woman that stands tall, walks high and proud, and that is confident about being a sir, no matter what. So that's my message out to all of the young AGs, sirs, however you want to label yourself. You know, stud. You know, however you want to do. Because let me break this down real quick. There's a growth between being a sir. You got a growth. It's like a baby. It's like you grow up. Because when you're a baby, you're an AG. You know, you walk around, you throw your hat on your feet, you turn it to the back. You know, you're an AG then. You're a baby. You wear Pampers, and that it is what it is. You know, then you become you become dominant a little bit. You know, little dominant a little bit, and that's cool too. You know, and then you want to be mature and you want to become a stud. You know, because you're changing the way you dress a little bit and things like that, and you're wearing little shoes and you're not rocking your Timbs all the time, and you know how to be versatile. Now you're a stud, okay? And then, you know, for us old cats, then you become smooth and you grow up a little bit and you learn how to accept things and you learn how to be seen and not heard. And you become a Jasper. And that's just real quiet, laid back on some watch what's going on around you. And then you become that sir, where you respect yourself and you respect others. And like I said, your head is always high and you're confident about you. You know, I think that it's different phases for me. You know what I mean? And today I'm a sir. Today I'm very comfortable with me. You know, I turn my fitted to the back, I turn it to the front. You know, I throw some shoes on every now and then. You know, I know how to be versatile. You know, so that's like my message out there to them young people. You know, go through your stage. It's okay because it's a stage and you're going to go through it. You know, go through your stage. That's wonderful when you can identify.
I want to take the time out to thank everybody in their participation in this documentary, Introduction to a CIR. Hopefully it brings more education and understanding to the world of who we are. We are here. We aren't going anywhere. It's time that the world accepts us and not us folding to the world for acceptance. We're here. The hardest thing to be is to be yourself. So I understand that it's an ongoing struggle. So whether you consider yourself a sir, an aggressive, a stud, a dom, whatever it may be, just know that you are you and be you. God bless.
Yeah. 3 in the morning on the West Side Highway, top down, baby. Motivation for me, fuck y'all. It's them telling me what I could not be. Oh well.